Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and today I thought I'd do a review of all of the new items that come with the Cozy Celebrations event. At the time making this video, only the first 3 quests are unlocked, but if you use mods, like the one that I have installed by Lunar Brittany, then you can have all the items right now. And if you can't or don't want to use mods, you can download a room from the gallery. I'll show that later. That has all of the items in there. Although I haven't had the same luck finding a sim with all the new Create a Sim items. I saw a few that have this particular jacket, but not everything. So maybe people will upload sims with all the items later. But thank you, Lunar Brittany, for basically making this video possible. So I'll go through all the new Create a Sim stuff first, and then I'll go into the build buy stuff. So the first thing we have is a new trait, Grouch. Yeah, doing that animation that we already have. The description in the events panel is a little confusing to me. It almost makes it sound like it depends so much on seasons when it doesn't really, and you do not need seasons to have the trait in your game after unlocking it. So these sims raise their mischief skill by playing pranks and bothering others with their surprises. It's called the Grouch trait, but you could pretty much call it Grinch, but I guess just to, you know, avoid copyright troubles. But I'll link to a thread by Rex on Twitter that gives a very good explanation for what exactly this trait does. So the mischief skill does go up faster by 10%, but it also has social decay, and there are some other things. So they can play some pranks, and they also like seeing other sims be miserable during holidays, and they don't like having kind gestures towards them. And yeah, it ties into both regular social events and holidays. So now for the new clothes, we have this new jacket. I'll show all the swatches. This doesn't look as bad as I initially thought. I do like how it's like the Velcro and it kind of comes off there. It's a nice realistic detail. The zippers I wish looked better. I mean, that's not a new thing for Sims 4 at all, but yeah, I don't like how flat the zipper is. This one's not as bad, but yeah, that is like one thing that I wish was better. And it's more obvious on some swatches than others. It's the first one I can see it the most where, like, I don't know what's going on. I've seen this in other video games too. I don't know if it's just the texture being too low res or what's going on here, but it's just like weird discoloring. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. And it's just like, even from far away, I can see it. It's not just like one of those things where it's like, oh no, of course something is blurrier when you look at it closer up. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. This ugly holiday sweater I like, though. I don't feel like it's that ugly at all. It's funny, though. The freezer bunny here. Just turn that around. Oh, it's cute. The happy freezer bunny. I didn't see that before. And then, yeah, this one here that's on the preview. All the many freezer bunnies. And then the blue and white, the snowflakes remind me of Frozen. And then the tree, and then this llama with the star sunglasses, and on the back, there's the llama facing the other way. So that's a really cool touch. I love that they did that for the back instead of just, you know, just leaving it at the front. But yeah, nice swatches. I don't know if I'll really use this one that much because it's like, oh, the point of it is for it to be an ugly holiday sweater. So it's like, in the context of having seasons, then during winter it makes sense, especially around Winterfest or even Winterfest Eve, as I've made a holiday in my save. So this I might use a little more, maybe just with the swatches where I don't notice the texturing issue as much. But I mean, the colors themselves are pretty nice, I think. But moving on to this other outfit here, we have a new scarf, which is under necklaces. And I'll show you all the swatches with this one. And I'm disappointed with how this one turned out. Because, I mean, I've downloaded plenty of custom content scars, but for sure this is the first time we've had something like this officially in The Sims, but the texturing just looks even worse than the jacket. I don't know what happened. It's not as obvious, I think, with the planar swatches, but then the ones with patterns, I don't know. It looks very low res, and that's too bad. I don't know if I'll use it apart from the plain swatches, which is funny because usually I tend to favor the pattern swatches. But yeah, that really is too bad. And depending on the top you wear with it, it can clip. Like with this jacket, it's not too bad. You can see a little bit of it poking through. It just kind of depends on the animation, or even, yeah, now you can see it a bit more now that I've zoomed in and he's standing still. So there is that to keep in mind as well. So it is nice we have something like this in an official capacity, but man, what happened? What happened with the textures? I don't know. But then we also have a new pair of shoes, which is actually these slippers. These are really cute. I think these are one of my favorite items for this whole event. I just wish we could zoom in on these like we can with the fingernails. So there we go. Yeah, these cute animals. Crocodile or alligator, whichever one it is. The foxes still don't know what they say. And frogs and panda, raccoon. That's funny because you can actually have a pet raccoon if you own the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. They even have their own voice option you can choose. And then bears. That's funny because we even got those slippers with the slumber party, the sweet slumber party kit from Trillic. If you go into the gallery and type cozy celebrations into the search bar, you should find some rooms pretty quickly that have all the new items. So we'll just download this one here. Place room. Yeah, I guess just here is fine. So we'll just go through all of these. So these wreaths are part of a collection. So I'll just quickly hop into live mode to show that. Just go to inventory, household collections. It should be, yeah, right at the bottom. There's for them. They happen to have different rarities too, but I'll just go into build mode. We have this one right here, the cozy floral wreath, the cozy freezer bunny wreath, cozy festive wreath, and cozy autumnal wreath. And yeah, these all just come in the one swatch since they are collectibles, technically. We also have this festive frame TV that I keep forgetting is actually a frame TV and not just a painting, but those, I haven't actually looked at all the paintings yet, but they do look pretty nice. So here we go. Yeah, there's like some Harvest Festival related ones. Oh, this is beautiful with the Aurora. Yeah, there's the trees. Oh, okay, so they're repeating, but then they have different color frames, so that makes sense. But, yep, some nice designs there. That is too bad. It kind of takes away a little bit from just like one of the main selling points of the modern Luxe kit. But, yep, there is the frame TV. Then we have these hedges. This is one of the first things that you unlock. So there's this starter hedge, and there's this hedge row. And with these, I'll show all the swatches. So there's actually way more for this longer one than there is for this one. Then we have what's probably my favorite item in this whole thing, the Super Dream Cube, because it reminds me so much of the first game console I actually owned, which was the Nintendo GameCube. Though there are certain swatches that remind me of the original PlayStation. It would be so funny if there was a purple one, but maybe then Nintendo would have sued. I don't know. You don't mess with the Nintendo ninjas. But actually, let's look at the description for this one. It isn't trying to be the most powerful console on the market, but it definitely knows what it does best. Retro games! With a game cartridge slot, a disc drive, and a whole 2 controller ports for that couch gaming head-to-head, you can be sure to relive some classic fun. So maybe this is meant to actually be kind of like what Sega and Nintendo did a year or 2 ago, where they released retro modern versions of their consoles, like the Sega Genesis Mini and the Nintendo Classic Mini, the Super Nintendo. So yeah, that would be actually kind of a neat reference too. But we also have this welcome mat. So that's neat that we have one of these, the base game, and then also having some like Harvest Fest themed swatches, or just fall. This might be my favorite swatch even. There's this one with the the same llama from the sweater, actually. That's a cool continuity thing. I love it when they do that. And then there's, yeah, like the trees again. And the gnomes! Yeah, so this doesn't even necessarily have to be associated with the holiday, even though there are like those gnomes that pop up during Harvest Fest. But that's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to mention one other thing with the console. With the recent patch, it did break custom content TVs, because then you can no longer connect the consoles to those custom content TVs. So they will need to be updated for that. So if you've run into that problem, that's why. But the ones in the game are still fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these items. Oh my god. Sure. But these actually twinkle too with these hedges. That's pretty neat. But I'd say most of these items are pretty cute. I am really disappointed with that scarf, but it's just like, okay, these items are really cute, and that's cool that they're free items, but that still does not mean they're free from criticism. So I like the items. It's like with kits. There's a lot of items in the kits that I like, but I just don't like the way that they're being given to us. So if these were just a Sims Delivery Express drop, then I wouldn't have a problem with that. Oh yeah, now with the sun fully set, this looks even better. But yeah, I wish this were a Sims Delivery Express drop, but that's obviously not the point. They want people playing the game more so they can make their quarterly stats look better when they boast about that in their meetings, and not just, oh yeah, we sold so many copies of whatever the latest expansion packs happen to be at the time. Oh man, Chase is very flirty. But yeah, thankfully, at least so far, I have played the first 2 quests, and they're quite easy. I don't know how much harder it's going to get, but I feel like I actually had a slightly harder time with the Reaper's Rewards one. So at least that is one thing where it's like, okay, I could just play through these quests in like 10 minutes and then it just leaves me alone for a few days. But it still feels like a freemium mobile game thing to me, and just keep that to the Sims Mobile and the Sims Free Play. That's what those spin-offs are for. I just don't want this in my mainline Sims games. Actually, one other thing I forgot to show off is the controller. It does look different from the one that comes with the consoles in City Living, so that's a neat little touch. It does remind me of like a Super Nintendo controller, so maybe that was the whole idea, to make it like, oh, like the Sega Genesis Mini in that way. But feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on these items, and I'll leave a link in the video description below to Lunar Brittany's mod. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Yeah, hopefully they brought back My Sims Racing as a remastered title. That'd be cool.